So how's it going? You said you had a cold open for this, even though I'm keeping the thing about your pants glowing in the dark.
Yes, yes. I'm back in the closet. That's the whole thought. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Thank you
Does
so
it
much.
sound? Can you tell if it sounds better already?
Yeah, it sounds like there's less echo.
My hips are gonna hurt in like 10 minutes, and pray for my circulation. Honestly.
Honestly, yeah. All right. Hello, welcome to a Fish and Flower podcast. I'm Flower, aka Rose. I have two fun facts. First one is that I have a migraine, and it's one of those ones where it's like right behind your eye. And when you look at a screen, it's so much worse. Or like my eyes just being open, it hurts. And I have taken a leave. It's like half the level that I was when I woke up this morning, so we're going for it. We're recording. Of course I took notes on my computer, so this is gonna be fun. So if I'm low energy, that's why. But also, the other actual fun fact for this episode is that I've been asking my mom for new sheets forever. The ones on my that I have already don't properly fit this mattress anyways. Like the mattress pad is like about a foot high. Um, so they don't. The bed sheet doesn't go all the way around properly, so you can't like actually make it so it's fitted and stays. So then it just comes off in like a week. And it's real annoying. I hate it. So of course she got me a double because that's like a real issue. The size of my mattress is super weird. So it's hard to find sheets that fit it properly. So she just got me sheets for a double bed because that will work. And she could have got me any sheets. We were in Walmart yesterday. We went through the normal sheets aisle right after she saw Frozen sheets, as in the movie Frozen. And decided she needed to buy them for me. It even comes with like a top sheet and two pillowcases. I already have a perfectly great pillowcase, and I don't like top sheets because I always just pick them to the bottom of my bed, and it's just annoying. So like, because I toss and turn a lot. So like, I
I
don't
think
use
it's
it.
hilarious.
And so basically, my mom spent $25 on a fitted sheet. And
You better use the pillowcases. Come on, bestie. It would be so funny.
I will use one because I have a spare pillow that I have for like when Ivy comes to visit and whatnot. And the pillowcase here I can show you because you can actually see me. This is the top of the pillowcase. Um,
Uh,
yeah.
bestie.
So yeah, I'll use one of them for this pillow.
That's a cute pillowcase, but throw it in the trash.
No.
In the trash.
Yes, I will.
Just kidding. It's a nice pillowcase. You could fix it, but whatever.
Yeah.
Frozen pillowcases all the way.
I gotta fix my pillowcase, or not my pillowcase, my seat pillow. My sister was using it a lot, and basically one arm of it is just gone.
Bestie, I missed you. I really did.
Me too.
Can you believe you left me for a week and I didn't have a breakdown because I was taking my medication?
Oh my god, a miracle. Alright,
It really was.
Do your intro.
Okay. Thought stunk brain. Hi, hello. My name is Fish, aka Stingray, and I have so many fun facts for the day. Obviously, I'm in the closet. Secondly, Percy Jackson news dropped today, and big day for annoying people! It's me. I'm the annoying person today. Also, I took my batteries and had coffee today. Can you tell?
Mm-hmm.
But also the biggest thing, you didn't really react to this, which is fine because you were busy. Since the last time we recorded, Kate Ingram followed me on Twitter. She follows me on Twitter, which now I'm hyper aware about how I'm tweeting because like I don't want to lose my Kate Ingram follow, and I don't want to be too annoying. Like, granted, she follows a lot of people, so I don't think she'll see my tweets that often. But I don't want to tweet enough for her to be like, damn, this bitch tweets a lot. Let me unfollow her.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm proud of you. I'm so happy for you.
I need nothing else. I've achieved everything I need to achieve in life.
I think there's one author that I enjoy who follows me on Threads right now. Like, I follow her on Instagram and whatnot, and then I
Yeah, I
saw that she
remember
got a thread, so I followed her on Threads too. And then she followed me back, and I went, hello?
No, it was literally the middle of the night, and I was like, hello? Like, I was just laying in bed in the dark listening to music, and then I was checking my phone. I was like, who the fuck just followed me?
Also,
Because that was the only notification I had. And I saw it, and I was like, hello?
yeah.
Hello?
Other random news, that is actually bookish. Well, that one was also bookish. But we talked, last time we recorded, we talked about how, that was the day that, I think it's Cruel Seduction, the newest T. Roberts came out, and now it is, number 2 and number 3, I believe, are the numbers in, bestsellers right now.
Hell yeah.
Already, it's been a week.
We love when books work. We love when books do the thing they're supposed to do.
I saw it in stores, I almost bought it.
You should have bought it.
I almost bought it multiple times because I saw it at like 3 different stores, but none of them had Neon Gods, which if I was going to buy any one of them from that series, it was Neon Gods, because that's my favorite Katie Robert. And none of them have it.
Listen, my Books A Million has Neon Gods. You want me to buy it and send it to you for your birthday for Christmas?
I mean, if you want. I almost bought,
No, I already know what I'm buying you for Christmas. I already spoke to my mom about it.
I did not grab that free book about...
Can you guess what it is?
Childhood depression and send it to you, so we'll be happy.
Thank you for not doing that. I appreciate you. But it's something off your wish list. Can you guess what it is?
Is it Mar Dyer?
Maybe! Who would have such a thought? No, I would send you my favorite trilogy.
Oh my god, I'm
for you to own.
Yeah, you're buying me your favorite trilogy so that it can also be one of my favorite trilogies. I should buy you the
Okay,
trilogy.
we gotta be honest. What?
The Project Paper Doll series, you know?
No.
Yeah, okay.
Literally buy anything else off my wish list, thank you. We gotta be real. My mother is buying you a Christmas present, but shh.
Alright. I love how we just tell
That's why I
each other
spoke to her about it months in advance.
Yeah. Let's see how much of that I cut out.
You cut out all of it, honestly.
Probably.
My butt is already numb.
I love that for you.
I said butt, not ass. What's going on? Damn, it's already, the vibes are already off in here.
This is very much a stream of conscious podcast, very similar to how we talk.
No shit.
Shut up. On today's episode, we have Stalked by the Kraken. That's the title of it. I never remember because I just caught Kraken smut, but I gotta remember the title. Because, yes, I am continuing the series. Hello, I'm actually low-key obsessed with this book.
I gotta go. Oh my god, hold on. I gotta go. It's hard to open my closet door. Hold on. I gotta go. I got it. Oh, my belt fell. Did you hear me opening the closet door to be dramatic?
I heard it.
Did you hear how difficult that was? I try not to panic because, like, I don't have a doorknob on my closet door or, like, the piece that goes, so it's, like, it opens rough and closes roughly. So, like, I know I'm not stuck in here. It just, if I think about it too deeply, I feel, yeah, you get it. You understand the concept, right? Yeah. That was,
Yeah, I will not be
I need to calm down.
Podcast, because I want to finish it before that, and I have like the rest of the year already planned out for the podcast, so like I'll read them on my own. You will probably still have to hear about it, but like that's fine. You love me.
I have an important question.
Yeah.
When are we rereading Girl, Serpent, Thorn together so we can record the podcast so for that?
Probably.
I know that episode will come out next year, but like, when are we reading it?
Next year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
I know.
I'm kind of in the mood to read it, but I think it's because I read it in like October when I read it the first time, so it's like it's getting there, you know. I'm gonna annotate it next time.
Me too.
Hell yeah.
That's why I bought it physically. And that's why I bought a bunch of new annotation tools, because I was like, I want nice pastel pens and whatnot. And highlighters. There's like a minty green
to go with the pastel, yeah.
Yeah, it goes perfectly with it. And the pastel pink does too. Anyways, this book, what do I even say about it? It's a good time. I feel like we have to first talk about the fact that the main character's name is Rose. She's a redhead. I'm not a redhead right now, but still. The author's name is Lillian Lark.
How do you feel about this?
And there's an incident called the Jackson incident throughout the book.
Don't you love the fact that the internet knows your whole name and, like, the internet doesn't even barely know my first name? Like, it's out there. You could find it if you tried hard enough. I don't really care. But if you call me that, I will block you.
True. Listen,
you will get got.
Sometimes I just forget what your
I'm
actual
in your
name
walls.
Is. I just forget what your actual name is, like, half the time. I'm like, it's H/Stingray. What is this name? Like, if someone would to call you that name in front of me, I would go, who's that?
Thank you. I appreciate that. Literally, sometimes I'm walking around and, like, my family will be like, real name. I'm like, huh? Like, if they say my name again, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's me. That's supposed to be me. Like, the more I get called it when I'm around my family, the more I get called it, the more ick I get. Like, other times I'm different, but the more I'm called it, the more ick I get.
Yes, I get that. Okay, this book starts with a prologue. Okay, so let me just say, the prologue in the first chapter of this book is a little iffy, because there is the stalking aspect in those two bits, particularly. After that, we get Rose's POV.
I kind of want to read a book with stalking.
Okay, well, this one is stalking where it's, like, not consensual in the beginning, but at the end, when she learns that he was stalking her, she's like, I don't mind it. I like it. And it's just a thing that he does.
Okay, Twilight. Okay, Bella Swan.
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, technically, I've already read one with stalking, because I've read Twilight multiple times.
Yeah, I love that for you. The way that every single time I went to a thrift store or a sale or anything like that, they only had Twilight and Eclipse. None of the other books in the series. And I would be like, hello! Yeah, that's very fun. So, the name of Mr. Kraken is Gideon.
Ew.
Every time his name came up, I just thought, like, she rarely says his name, ever, in the book. So every time it said Gideon, like, the most times his name is said is probably in the beginning of his chapters when it's saying, like, Gideon's, like, at the top of the chapter, right? Let's be real. If you, like, were to control F, I just remembered that I own this book and I just got really happy. But every time it said his name, I was thinking of Gideon from Criminal Minds, and so that's how I would picture him half the time, but he's supposed to be, like, this big, muscular, like, almost pirate-esque, long, dark hair type man, and those are two completely different pictures, so, you know, that was...
I don't know, but you keep saying Gideon, and I don't know why, but I keep thinking of Gideon the Ninth, even though I've never read that fucking book.
That's the other one I think of, yeah. Literally, when you said Gideon, I went Gideon the Ninth in my head, so...
Yep.
So he basically works as a treasure hunter, because, like, Krakens really like treasure. So, like, it's this whole thing where a lot of more powerful creatures. It's like a land where, like, creatures and humans live
So there's actually lore to this book, and it's not just weird.
There's actual lore.
Monster smut.
Like, he's, like, immortal and has lived for thousands of years, so he's, like, watched the process of humanity,
It's literally just Twilight in a different font then, huh?
Trust me, there's tentacle sex. It's not Twilight. That's the only part I am not the fan of. I do not want to hear
I'm sorry,
about...
you just publicly admitted... No, Rose. You just publicly admitted to liking a book that has tentacle smut in it on the internet.
Listen, I am saying that, but I am also about to say that the only part I did not like was the tentacle sex. Because, dear God, I do not like...
Too bad. I don't care. You said you liked the book, there's tentacle smut in there for...
I do not like to hear about how this man stuffed his tentacle up there and pulsated it and expanded it to fill her completely.
Oh my God!
That happened multiple times.
Okay, hear me out. The way you react to tentacle smut is the way I react to normal smut. Because, well, just any smut involving men. Because I was reading some the other day, and the word taint was used.
Oh, don't worry, there's also...
I hate that word. I hate the word. I hate everything about... I hate everything about that thing in particular, and every time I hear the word or it's just I come across it in the wild, I literally have to step away because if I ever get upset or I can't think right now. If I ever, for some reason, have to question myself again, which happens occasionally, as you do as a person, I just have to think about the word taint, and I know for sure ain't never gonna happen. I'm gripping my close to dear life right now.
Okay. So Gideon works as, like, a treasure hunter. Basically, he finds, like, people's missing items or whatnot, usually, like, really expensive items. There is a running joke I didn't put in my notes, but when, he tells Rose what his job is, she's like, oh, so you can find my keys for me? And so there's, like, a running joke where she's like, can you find my keys for me? And he does, because that's just a thing that the Kraken likes to do. And so he just does that. And so I just imagine, post this book, it's just her, losing her keys on purpose so that he can find them for her, and I find that very sweet. Hear me out, the banter and actually, like, relationship in this is actually very sweet. But yeah, he likes shiny things, very Crow-esque, and...
I like shiny things.
And he likes gemstones and whatnot.
That's right.
So, he works as, like, a treasure hunter, finding people's stolen or lost items, because it appeases the Kraken side of him, and the way that it kind of works is that, like, immortal, super powerful beings like him, like, when he first enters her office and they first officially meet, she, like, immediately notices how powerful his magic is, like, obscene, and basically, it's like a Kraken on the inside with a human suit on the outside, and the human suit and the Kraken are communicating. And he calls it his inner being. But they're the same person. So, like, his inner beast will be like, mine, I must hunt her. And then the human suit...
hear me out.
The human suit will be like, no, that's not how common courtesy works nowadays. You gotta, like, actually woo her. You can't just hunt her down like a predator to its
Hear
prey.
me out. Hear me out.
Yeah.
You keep saying things that remind me of other things, and you said obscene, and I think about that one quote in The Wicker King. Anyways, moving on from that. What if I said it was giving Venom?
You know, I get it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's kind of like
also,
perfect imagation.
Can I bring something up that has nothing to do with what we're speaking about?
I mean, yeah, it's a Stream of Consciousness podcast. Very similar to how we talk to each other on a daily basis.
The amount, okay, yeah, there was Star Wars references in books before I met you, but the amount that is happening since after I met you is actually fucking crazy, because the last 3 books I've read this month all had Star Wars references in them.
Dude, Bestie was so proud of herself.
How the fuck do you do this?
Bestie was so proud of herself because she remembered the name of 5 different Avengers the other day, and her boyfriend was like, I'm so proud. Meanwhile, me and him are just sitting there next to each other, just, like, talking about, why Age of Ultron is, like, mediocre, but also sometimes good, but, like, Winter Soldier is actually top tier, and, like, the way that people don't like it is so dumb.
Okay,
Winter
nerd.
Soldier is great. Anyways, so, a lot of times, so he's, like, an immortal, so, like, it's hard for him to find friends, because, like, if he meets someone, they'll die, and whatnot. There's, like, later on a whole thing where, like, he adopted foundlings a lot in the past, but he stopped doing it because eventually they grow old and die, and, it's really heartbreaking. Like, I can imagine. So, he has, one really close friend who is a demon named Mace, and they're also co-workers. They're currently working a job together, to find, this stolen necklace that's, like, really important to some witches and whatnot, and,
Oh, there's witches in this universe? Hell
yeah. Oh,
yeah.
yeah, Rose is a witch. This necklace...
Thanks! You just leave out that very important information until now? Wow.
It'll come up later. I'm still only on the prologue. She hasn't even come into the book yet. So, this necklace is going to be in this auction, which, they are looking into. Very important information about Mace is that his nickname for, Gideon are Moby Dick, Ahab, Flounder, and Calamari.
What the fuck? Hello?
What the hell are you?
Hi. How you doing? That was a shirt. No, I think no. What was that? That's a dress. That is a dress. Hello, hi. Please let the people know how much you can see right now.
I can see glasses. I can see the reflection
It's dark
of me
in here. Hi.
the
Oh, there's the
glasses.
hand. Hi.
Oh,
Hi.
I can see the reflection of me in the glasses.
Listen,
all I can see.
I'm sitting in a closet. I don't have a light in my closet because that's fancy people shit.
My walk-in closet has a light.
Goodbye.
They turned off the camera. Yeah, so that's the thing. So he questions a person with information, but they're kind of shippy about it. So they're like, we're gonna like actually look more into this auction to see what's happening, because like something's a little suspicious here. This is important because like the whole entire side plot has to do with this auction. And hear me out, the side plot that didn't have to do with the romance, I actually enjoyed. It's very interesting. So after this informant leaves that they don't trust, the Rose enters the coffee shop. At this point, he doesn't know what her name is in anything. So for all this I'm about to say, until I say when he does learn her name, he does not know her name. He just sees her enter the coffee shop, and his inner kraken's like instantly calling her his.
Okay, but is it jarring to read a book with the main character that has your name?
Yes. Yeah. And Gideon, at least thinks instantly, you can't claim people in civilized society anymore, like, she isn't instantly ours, like, please. It's basically, hinted at that the Kraken, believes that she is his mate and such. So good times.
Oh my god, I just got a really good idea for an Instagram post.
That's funny. Rose is a red, and I quote, my notes, Rose is a redhead, of course, like when the hairdresser messed up and gave me coppery red. Maybe I should dye my hair again. Literally the way my mom offered to get me hair dye yesterday, and I said no.
You should have said yes.
I know. Rose has two friends. There's Catherine, a demon, and Wanda, another witch. I found that very funny.
And you also have two friends.
I do. Wanda is a witch. I found that very funny, because of a Marvel thing. There's a witch named Wanda.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know that much information, bestie.
So, there's also a whole thing where, like, demons, so he's, like, magically hiding himself. He does it, like, most of the time, he, magically puts up, like, a barrier so people can't see him unless he wants them to, type thing, because he doesn't like to be perceived. And so, same. And so,
not me opening Google, and the first thing I see is an article about Heartstopper Season 3. Everything we need to know so far about the real estate cast, ... And it's just, and the picture is literally just Nick and Charlie kissing. Like, okay. Where the fuck are they where is this kiss happening?
I don't know.
No, because, why, they're like, I'm confused about where this is. I'm sorry.
We are 33 minutes into recording, and we're barely into this book. I didn't even ask you how many pages of notes I took. Wow, I'm off my game. It's been so long.
I'm gonna go with 4.
5.
Damn.
This is a 250-page book. But he's worried about Catherine because demons can see through those type of barriers type spells, so, like, he's worried that she'll notice him staring at Rose. So her two friends show up, and they instantly start confronting her about not showing up to what is called a bathhouse and working as a matchmaker, which is like a big deal. He recognizes that matchmakers have been like a very important thing in society for thousands of years. So like, I mean, it's a very hard job, and it's really hard to find a good one, so like, that's very interesting to him. She has recently been through a breakup, and her friend makes jokes about hooking up with someone new, which doesn't intrigue her, making Gideon have to fight down his inner creature to court her immediately. Because he's like, she's clearly not into being a thing right now, so, like, we shouldn't go for it. If she's not into it at this moment, we should wait until she's ready. Consideration. So,
sure.
Her friends finally say her name, and Gideon thinks, and I quote, I wrote it down, and I quote, this is page 8 of this book, Rose, The name matches the woman. Petal soft and color vibrant. Bessie, am I petal soft and color vibrant?
You know, I don't know if I want to know the answer to that question.
I think I'm color vibrant with all the pink I'm wearing right now, but you know. Not in middle
Maybe
school.
you should ask someone else that question.
So the friends drag her out of the store when her eyes glaze over where Gideon is, feeling his eyes on her. And then he decides to follow them, having, and I quote, never hunted a mate before. And then it goes to the first chapter. It's like a week later. It's her POV, and she has felt someone watching her for the past week, but every time she stops and checks, there's nothing there. And I literally wrote, what the fuck, Gideon? We learned some background about her and her family. Her family runs a bathhouse that has to do with sex magic. That's disguised as a video rental. It happens to be the video rental right next to the antique store that is up front for the auction that Gideon is also looking into. That's across the store, or across the way from the coffee shop. So he's been in the coffee shop a lot.
That's so much. There's so many layers to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Why did you send me a photo? Oh my god. That's so funny. So yeah, no, so the
I'm so funny. I'm so hilarious.
Yeah. So the coffee shop is across from these two stores. So when he's in a lot of the book, he's in the coffee shop. If he's not with Rose, he is in the coffee shop watching both the antique store for information on the auction and also the bathhouse to get information on Rose at the same time. So Catherine, specific type of demon.
Multitasking queen.
I know, right? Catherine's specific type of demon is a succubus. And has recently had sex with Rose's cousin Lowell. Lowell works the front desk at this bathhouse. So Rose gets anxious when Lowell asks her how good of a match he is with Catherine, due to one of her matches turning really bad, apparently. Yeah, I'll talk more about it when it comes up, because, like, it's really important later on. She can match people by seeing their soul threads and tell if they are compatible.
Hello?
Yeah. Which is, like, apparently a super ultra rare ability.
Of course it is. She's the main character.
Literally the only other person we meet in this whole entire book that has that ability, and there's, like, many side characters, is Mace, and it's because he's a demon. That, like, a certain type of demon that he can see soul threads as well. Yeah, it's not brought up until the very end.
Oh Lord.
What did you do?
I had to move, and then I put I have old posters in here, like rolled up with hair ties, and yeah, it's fine. I knocked stuff over. It's fine.
Okay. Her last name is Love. She works as a matchmaker, and her last name is Love. Yep. So at this point, Harpy comes in, which is
What is that? What is that? Hold on. What is that? Oh, it's a string. I don't know what hoodie is that? What the hell? Oh, it's not even mine. That's what it is. Don't you love having... Oh my god! There's a bug in my closet. It's dead. No, there's a spider. You love me, right?
Sometimes.
Wow. Okay.
I could be watching K-dramas right now.
But you're ahead, technically, so be happy.
In the podcast only, bestie. In the podcast only. Isn't that always how it goes?
Exactly. Yes, we can be ahead in something and we can be okay, right? Because we could be behind in the podcast and everything else too, but we're not.
True.
You're welcome. I don't know why I said you're welcome. It's not like I did much.
So,
Listen, I'm here to be pretty. You can't see me, but I'm here to be pretty.
It's not a video podcast.
Rose does all the work. I'm just here.
So, the Harpy walks into the bathhouse. Harpies are super rare and whatnot. So she's, like, instantly surprised when that happens. And starts asking questions and all this jazz. so when they ask who she is, she goes to give an alias, but like it instantly doesn't work, and she says her actual name because there's a bunch of protection spells on the bathhouse that make it so you can't use an alias for the purpose of informed consent, because like that's really important to them, right? Um, the bathhouse allows the space for sexual acts, but doesn't provide the participants and don't take money for it. Instead, they use spells on the walls and whatnot to absorb the raw magic from sexual acts, and then they sell it to other witches because it's like super raw magic and whatnot and super powerful. And so like they sell to a lot of the largest warding companies in like the whole entire country, which are very important. And that's how they make their money.
The lore is so that out and deep and like actual lore. What the hell?
So Rose's work as a matchmaker, she can technically do sexual matches, but she mostly works in doing long-term matches. And basically how it works for her is that when she matches people, they sign a contract and they like see if they like each other and all this stuff. And so if it does work out and they do decide to be a thing, the first 3 times that they are intimate have to be done in the bathhouse. They can like there's a thing where they're like, if you don't want the first time to be in the bathhouse, fine, but like they prefer it if you do, because the first time a match does do it in the bathhouse, it's like super super powerful and all this stuff. And so that's kind of like her whole thing, where she like makes matches happen and then it offers more magic for the place and all that stuff. It's like a whole, there's like a whole economy with like the magic system and having sex. So like, let me tell you what.
I mean, that makes sense because like, if you think about it in actual quote-unquote practices, because there is, like, generational witches and stuff, so, like, anything that has to do with, like, love and, like, all that stuff is really powerful, which makes sense because I feel like those are very powerful feelings, etc.
Yeah, no, as someone who once made
I love how you're talking about serious things, and I'm just like, yeah, things that most people don't believe in, but I believe in.
As someone who once made a whole entire economy for a D&D game, yeah. It's a lot of work, so like...
I feel like that could have worked if we had different friends, you know?
Yeah. I still have all the stuff for the second campaign that never happened on my phone.
That's so sad. We should make that happen one day.
I have all the maps still and everything.
With the actual people who will actually, you know...
So the harpy leaves with some, like, information.
I'm not bitter.
Okay. The harpy leaves with some information. The harpy leaves with some informational pamphlets, and all that stuff. And then her brother, Rose's brother, Jared, enters the shop saying they need to talk.
Not Jared.
I know, right? And then it switches to Gideon's point of view, where we learned that he...
Hell yeah, POV switches.
Yeah, he doesn't follow her...
I eat that shit up.
He doesn't follow her into her actual house or into the store, to set up boundaries, and also because the store is spelled.
Okay, sure.
I know, right? So he waits outside for her every time, and the harpy that was there, was actually paid by him to, like, get information and whatnot. Then it switches back to Rose's POV, and we learn from Jared that the bathhouse is somehow running low on magic to sell, despite the fact that they are doing good on match. Like, she hasn't been doing matches a lot because this one really bad match she did where it, like, ended up really, really bad. So, like, she hasn't been doing them a lot, but we still, like, she's still getting income from the matches they already have and the regulars they have and all this stuff. So, like, it shouldn't be an issue. So, like, something suspicious is happening. And he's, like, looking into it, but he wants Rose to get back.
Oh my god, is someone stealing their magic?
Yes, that's a whole entire plot point now. Shush!
Me actually picking up on shit before it's put down? I? Understanding what's happening? What?
So, he's gonna look into, like, what's happening with that, but he wants Rose to get back into matchmaking, since that's where most of their magic comes from. And so... so he has time for so he can like actually do a full-time investigation, and he's also gonna hire someone from the outside to like come and look at it. That person happens to be Catherine, because like there's also this whole thing where there's like a bunch of magical people going missing. It's brought up randomly like halfway through the book. And so the investigation company she works for, is like working really hard to look into it. But she doesn't really work on those type of cases. So like the internal company investigations is more her type thing. So she's gonna be the one working with him to do that, and all that jazz. So yeah. Rose collects stationery and has it displayed on a wall in her office.
Are you trying to tell me this bitch is not you?
That is me! I have so much stationery.
Maybe you should contact this author and be like, yo, this is too close to me as a person, and can I have some money? That's a joke. I'm joking. I feel like that'll make someone upset.
Oh my god.
95% of the shit I say is not serious.
Okay.
You'll know when I'm being serious.
Let me quote this whole entire...
That's not for your benefit. That's for everybody else's benefit, Bestie. Be so serious.
That's okay. I'm going to quote this whole entire note. Ready? Gideon goes to employ Rose. And when he walks into her office, she, like, goes to take his coat. And she finds his scent to be rain, green things, and salt. In parentheses. So how I imagine the gay flag and a fish. So you smells.
How do you think I smell? Hold on. I heard what you said, but I need you to repeat it so I can, like, absorb it.
Rain.
Rain.
Green things.
Yeah.
And salt.
Well, I do sweat very easily, so the salt, yes. The perfume I use is, like, a watery type scent, so yes, and obviously I do smell green because it's me. So you're not wrong. Hold on. Let me look up the description of my perfume, and I'll tell you what I smell like. Granted, my main, like, my body wash and stuff is, like, vanilla and amber. But, like, the perfume I prefer to use smells different. And it layers very nicely because my body wash and all that is, like, very light on my skin. But you know what really hits when I use my, like, body wash and stuff? But I use one of the body butters my friend made me, and then layer my perfume on top of that. I'm sorry, we did not need to go down that rabbit hole. Oh, hold on.
I would like you to know, when I was at Walmart the other day, I saw the sequel to House of Salt and Sorrows, and I almost bought it for you.
I know, but I have it in paperback, so I have to wait for the fucking paperback.
It was the paperback.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Because it was Walmart.
What?
Mhm.
Are you sure? Are you 100%? Are you fucking with me right now?
No, I'm not fucking with you. I'm 100% sure.
It said House of Root and Ruin on it?
Yes. Green cover.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's like green and pink, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
Walmart doesn't sell hardbacks. They sell paperbacks. Generally. So. Anyways, I also typed, when I typed rain, it started to rain where I was, and, then I said, I am a god.
I hope you know my perfume is from Avon, because, yeah.
I didn't know you were my grandmother.
Listen, my aunt still sells Avon, okay? And then, like, they have this one perfume, it's, like, just haiku, it's green. My mom has used that, like, my entire life. But they have like different subsections of it, and I use haiku reflections. I'll show you. I show you. It's only $25. Damn. It smells good as fuck though. So, and it's like not too like it's not too like I feel like it's more masculine than feminine, but like I feel like it's like in between. So like it's although sometimes I do like to smell a bit fruity, you know. Here's the description. Like, I got a new bottle, like, this time last year, and that bottle lasted a very long time, and then this bottle, I have, like, a quarter of it left. So I've been using it a lot more, because I would usually wear this one in the summer, and then wear my body wash one during the winter, because this one's, like, warm, and that one's, like, for, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, this one's more for, like, a warmer time because of the notes, and then like the other one is more wintry. But I've just worn it all year because it smells so good. I love it. Also, don't come for me. If you know stuff about perfume, don't come for me for my perfume choices. I think it smells good. Leave me alone. Someone said cons 2 week. 5 people said it was 2 week. That bitch stays on me for hours. Like the next day, it's still on me.
Okay. I'm gonna go back into this book now. So.
Doesn't hold. What the? Does it make sense though?
Yes.
Can you understand what I smell like now?
Yes. I smell like me. I don't wear perfume. I wear men's deodorant.
I also wear men's deodorant. Okay, think about all the things I have going on. I use what the fuck is it called? You know the green and gray men's deodorant?
No. Bestie, I'm colorblind.
Okay. Oh my god. Can't you see green? I don't fucking know.
Sometimes.
I forget what it's called. My grandpa used it. You know how I started using it? There was a thing of it in my room, like just on the floor, because my room turned into a junk room when we moved out the first time. It was just on the floor, and I started using it because I needed deodorant, and I didn't stink afterwards. So that's why I used it, because if I use regular, I just, like I stink. Like, I don't want to stink, So, like, imagine that, like, a basic-ass man smell, and then, like, all my body wash and lotion and stuff is, like, amber and vanilla, and then my perfume smelling like that. Like, it goes fine together, but it's, like, that's a lot. Like, that's a lot. I'm sorry, bestie. This is why you can't leave me alone for a week, because then we speak like this, and then you have to cut so much shit out.
So, the power coming from Gideon is enough to balance the magic they need for a while if she's able to match him. So, she doesn't believe matchmaking works for herself since she matched previously and that person turned her down. I assumed that was the Jackson from the quote-unquote Jackson incident. I was right. Gideon Strand has no soul threads. That's his last name, by the way, Strand. His name's Gideon Strand.
That's, like, terrible. Like, that's a terrible name. Like, I'm sorry. You cannot beat name combinations like Nick Nelson or August Bateman or Jack Rossi or, like, So every time a character has a mediocre name, I'm just like... I take character names so seriously, obviously. Like, Mara Dyer, like, hello? Like, and then, like, the context behind the name Mara and just everything that has to do with Mara Dyer, like, I eat that shit up. I'm sorry.
So he states he wants to couple with Rose, but, like, when she's like, but why me? He doesn't want to scare her away by saying, like, he wants to be mates with her and all this stuff. So he says just because. And so she thinks that it's just because, like, she's there and that's why. And she, during this whole entire conversation, she's, like, very into him instantly. So she has him leave, but as he's leaving, he tells her there's undesirable parts of him he'd have to tell her about before they couple, and gives her his card.
Not the card.
I know, right? And he decides to take
Can I get one of those for Jericho, though? She collects business cards.
I love that. Gideon decides to take it slow and wait before he tries again. Mace is leaving for him as he's leaving the bathhouse and is surprised Gideon has found his mate, but isn't the biggest fan of the stalking aspect. So we
You gotta live a little, I guess.
Yeah. We learned that Rose was 100% match with Jackson, hence the Jackson incident.
I would also say that you, Rose, are 100% matched with Jackson.
Yeah, Shut up. They call it the incident due to her apparently being the only one who viewed it as a relationship, and it made her feel cheap. Hence the sudden celibacy that has all her friends worried. Oh yeah, so like there was this whole thing, where we get few glimpses of like the relationship, where like he would always say that she was too easy, like she's a good lay, but like she's not the type of person you take home to the parents.
Hello?
A good lay, and like her family business is just brothel and stuff like this, and she's like very proud of her family business and all this stuff. Like it's like a really good business and all this stuff. And so she like took offense to it all, and it made her feel like it made her feel used and cheap and all this stuff, so that's why she hasn't had sex in a while. But she eventually decides, you know what, Gideon's a great way to get it out of my system. Which, like, I agree, until the tentacle porn.
Oh,
you
said you enjoyed a book with tentacle porn, so you subjected yourself to this fact.
I did.
And anything that comes with it on the internet, so...
I would like you to also know the epilogue is them doing the tentacle porn in public.
What?
And multiple people are like, I think I'm into tentacles now.
What the fuck? I gotta go. I gotta open the closet door. I gotta go. I gotta go. I broke my nose from crying earlier. Jesus Christ, Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas. Like, okay.
Lowell talks her into calling Gideon. They meet in the coffee shop where Rose has already ordered for him. She offers 3 nights together, which he views as an opportunity to get her to stay with him. But she has stipulations. She wants to get to know him first, so like they can go. They decide that they're gonna go on dates. He literally he's instantly yes to both of her stipulations, and then he's like, okay, let's go. And she's like, what? And he's like, I'm taking you out on a date. You wanna know about me? I'm taking you out on a date. We're gonna have a good time.
I just had a really funny idea.
What?
What if I got a flashlight for the next episode we record, and then have a flashlight on myself the whole time, and then we could record a video episode with me in the closet with a flashlight?
You know what? That would be a great Mardire episode.
Yeah, or the Halloween. All the fucking how many
October.
Is there Halloween episodes?
Bajillion.
We're normal.
So she wants the option. Oh yeah, the other stipulation is she wants the option that either one of them can break the agreement at any time with no repercussions. And he's like, yeah, sure, of course. Yeah, consent. And she's like, thank you. So he's been told he's uncommunicative. There we go, uncommunicative. And he decides to work hard to not be like that with Rose. She thinks he's putting a spell on her due to her level of lust. So this is when he informs her that he is actually a kraken, and she's like, oh my god, that's super rare. Oh my god, I thought that was a myth type of rarity. We learned that no one knows, not even the krakens, how krakens are created. Yes, I did think of the souls we keep when I read that. It's fine. They are immortal, they are super powerful, and also that, because, it's a thing where, werewolves are also a thing, and she knows for a fact that werewolves are pretty common, so, she's seen them around and whatnot, that shifting for wolves, partially during intercourse is pleasurable for them. So she activates a thing for him, and we learned that partial shifting during sex is pleasurable for krakens as well.
Okay.
Let me tell you, there are many, many jokes during the first sex scene about sex with octopuses. She's because there's a thing where I don't remember the exact terminology that the octopus family is in. But basically there's a species that can when they have sex, the male will leave the penis in the woman. It will just come off.
Yeah.
So they're halfway through the act, and then she's like, wait a second, are you just gonna, is it just gonna fall off inside of me? And then he just breaks down laughing.
I'm mean, sometimes you have to giggle, sometimes you have to hee-hee, you know?
And it was, that's the thing, like, if you
I say as if I know.
Here's the thing. Ignore the tentacle porn. The intercourse was actually very sweet and kind and funny, and they were very, like, it was very real. I liked it. Mine's the tentacle porn. I hated that. I will say that till I die.
I know. This is your legacy. You like tentacle porn. This is your legacy.
I did not like it.
Anyways, before we move on, I just feel like I should mention the fact that you mentioned werewolves, and I've been kind of wanting to read anything related to werewolves, and I don't know why.
Go read Unleashed again.
Yeah. Did you go read the second one with me? Yeah.
I already have a vlog planned where I'm gonna read or finish the series. Don't worry about it.
When is that? What month? When is that happening? Is that the next one? It better be the next one.
I don't think so. Let me pull up my calendars. Me as a
I wish I was as, oh my gosh. I wish I was as organized as you. Like, genuinely. I feel like I'm actually a really determined person when I actually take care of myself, you know?
Oh, it's in December. It's gonna be my last video of the year.
That's so funny. And then we can record the podcast episode. Yeah, yay.
I think I low-key planned that for February. No, wait, did I?
You better. What the hell?
No,
Where else would they go? Where are they going?
I don't know. February, if...
Can they go earlier?
I will think about putting it in January.
I really need to read Loveless.
I know! So they...
Listen, not only for the podcast, I need to finish the fucking Alice Oseman vlog so bad. The last time I recorded for that vlog was literally when I bought Nick and Charlie, so. But I'm hoping to God that I get other Alice Osemans physically for my birthday, especially this winter, even though I've already done this winter for the vlog, because it comes out 2 days before my fucking birthday, the US edition. So if no one fucking buys me that, I'm gonna have a conversation with everybody I know, you know?
I almost bought you I Was Born for this. I didn't know if you had that one, though.
No, I don't.
I saw it physically, and
I only have Heartstopper, Nick and Charlie. I don't have any of the other ones. And I keep going to buy them, and then I don't buy them.
I thought you had Loveless, so I almost bought you Loveless, and I was like, I'm pretty sure they have Loveless, and I'm not gonna.
No, I don't.
Because I saw Loveless at 6 different locations. So they moved the date to a museum, and at this point, she's, like, very silent, just, like...
A what, Dusty? Why'd you say it like that?
A museum! That's how you pronounce museum. Museum.
What? Are we a museum?
Yeah, museum.
That's not how you say museum! What the fuck?
My Northeastern accent coming in strong right now.
Yes! I've never heard you have such an accent on any word ever in the entire year and a quarter we've known each other. Hello?
Yeah, so they go to a museum.
What the fuck? I'm scared, Mom!
Hey, bestie, knock knock, do you want to go to a museum?
No, I don't! I'm gonna stay in the walls!
I'm crying. Oh my god. So, she's just going through the motions because she's in shock because the kraken thing, right? And she notices, that he's, like, low-key directing her around this museum. With his hand on her back. Oh god, there's actual tears. Oh god.
I'm gripping the fucking walls right now.
Am I directing her with his hand on her back? But, like, he's just barely touching her, trying to be considerate and whatnot. She notices this. It's a good time. So, during this time, we learn that Gideon has always wanted to be a father. This is where we learn
Ew.
about his past of raising families and all that stuff. Um, but having his own children would negate that. Most immortals don't breed, so he doesn't even know if it's possible. And then he's like, but like, still, if we do it, you should have some protection. Like, hello, so like, and this is where we learn that she has a pink quartz necklace imbued with a spell to protect from pregnancy. It's like a thing passed down from woman to woman when they reach 16. In her family. Hot take: can you spot the breeding kink? Because it's gonna be a thing.
No, I kind of blacked out.
So, she realizes that by him talking about the foundlings and his desire to be a father, that he's been vulnerable with her, so she should be vulnerable with him. And he's like, you don't have to. Like, this is a date, not like a 20 questions like thing. And she's like, no, 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 I'm gonna tell you. So this is where we learned that Jackson, rejected her because she was too easy, and his parents would never accept someone who works in a bathhouse. Apparently, his like family's like super rich, like they own most of the buildings in the town or city.
Boo, Jackson.
I know, right?
Jackson's
So,
new Connor.
and I wrote in parentheses, so basically slut shaming despite liking her for how easy it was to get in her pants. Cough, cough. Yeah. Gideon says he's a bad man because he wants to break Jackson's back, showing some of his creature, which confronts Rose. She's like, I should be scared by, like, how easily he wants to break my ex's back. But, like, the fact that he was willing to tell me this and be like, I want to do it,
I
but
feel
I
like
know
that
I
could be
should.
taken in the wrong context.
She's all like, I should be scared, but, like, I kind of like it. Like, the way that he was willing to tell me that and all this stuff. I'm like, okay. Also, there's, like, this whole thing where she wants him to live the creature out fully. It's like this whole dumb thing. It doesn't come into play until the very ending. Um. So so after the date, they go to the bathhouse, which goes with Gideon's original wooing plan of using sex, but he realizes due to the Jackson incident, it may be too soon. But she's like, "Are you like turning me down?" And he's like, "No, I would never turn you down. I would never say no to anything you say, or ask of me." He's one of those. Um.
You know.
Another gross, another instance that Jackson's kind of the worst. He thought performing oral sex was gross.
Oh!
So I wrote down the line, let's burn him. Welcome to men.
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 Fucking men.
Fucking men. I'm keeping it to fucking men.
You can keep in the fucking men. Just ignore the fact. If help.
So, I forgot to bring up like a low-key thing, which is that she's nervous.
Hey, did you know I'm gay? I'm sitting in the fucking closet.
So there's like a thing that she's like kind of nervous because like it's been a while. She still has the feelings that Jackson made her feel and all this stuff. So like Gideon's trying to make her feel better, and he's like, you know what makes everyone feel better? Orgasms. And so he like goes to go down on her, and she's like, no, you don't have to.
Reasonable logic.
She's like, you don't have to, remembering what Jackson said, that no man likes going down on a woman. And then Gideon is literally kneeling before her, begging her to let him go down on her.
Oh my god.
Get me a man. I need a man
Once
that is
again,
both
Bestie,
a man from a K-drama and also Gideon at the same time.
Once again, Bestie, I'm reiterating the fact that I don't think you need a man.
True.
You are, in fact, bisexual.
They don't require me to find a woman, though.
You live in the fucking woods. You try to tell me there's no... And you live in Vermont. You try to tell me there ain't no lumberjack bitches out there for you?
Not that I know of, sadly. I wish. You don't have
They're there. You gotta go look for them. I don't know where you be looking for them. In your fucking woods, I guess.
Listen, if I met a strong lumberjack woman out in the middle of the woods, I'd instantly just be in love.
And you'd run away together, yeah, uh-huh.
I'd be the one climbing like a tree, you know.
Oh my god.
I thought
If you met a sexy lumberjack woman in your woods, you would U-Haul so fast and I know it.
120%. You tell me that's not an, like, there's an option to not do that? Like, no. No. Listen, the two sides that I'm into currently are hot lumberjack lady or hot car mechanic lady. So I did
I don't
not
know what
go
I'm speaking
into
about
much
anymore.
detail about what happens during the intercourse, but just know, he does partially shift during intercourse. And I
So does he
really
just
thought
have tentacles coming out his back somewhere or some shit?
his whole entire bottom half just becomes tentacles.
Ew.
And he's like, you remember the tentacle penis from Souls We Keep? It's kind of like that.
You know, I wouldn't mind sharing about a lot of different things, but like tentacles is where I draw the line personally.
Same. So.
Yeah, we know you're horny, bestie. You read Katie Robert multiple times a month.
True.
Granted, I've read more smut this month in like the last few weeks than I have really than I do ever. Like I usually read like one smut every couple months, and you're like reading multiple every month, and I'm just like, okay.
It's all for this podcast.
Sure, that's just an excuse.
When it comes to Katie Robert, 110%.
It's getting kind of warm in here.
Same. I really thought because like there were gonna be like.
At least you're not getting the stuffy same air because I'm in the fucking closet. I mean, should is that dangerous?
Probably.
How long can I safely be in the closet?
I don't know. So I was in there for years. So what do I know?
Listen, at least you weren't. We're not gonna go into my trauma. We're not gonna go into my trauma right now. Keep going.
So I really thought, because I already agreed to like 3 times together, that it was gonna be like the 3rd time was when he partially shifts, and then like halfway through the sex scene, the 1st time he's like in her and he shifts. Yeah.
I'm out of water. It's so sad.
So she learns that
hell.
he's never shifted with anyone before in fear of how they react. So he already brings up the going past the agreement of 3 nights together, which scares but intrigues her, but he says to ignore it until a later date. She falls asleep on him, and when she wakes, he offers to get her lunch in an attempt to go out of the sex friends territory, which she agrees to. The harpy is caught in the bathhouse with a recording device, her clients planning to trick her into joining their sex games. Yeah. Which is a big deal. Like, the clients get in, like, a bunch of trouble. In payment of... So, like, to try to get in less trouble, the harpy is like, hey, I have some information on your bathhouse you may want. Which is basically that one of the walls in the main section of bathhouse is sapping magic too much, which may be part of the magic collection issues Jared is looking into. And then, so basically she banishes the harpy until she comes back with a mate or a match, which is like a big deal because harpies don't really mate, and all this stuff. Gideon brings takeout from her favorite restaurant for lunch, and she says it's almost like he's been watching her. So yeah, when he's entering is when the harpy's leaving. Wait, so he knows the harpy from hiring her help to get information on a treasure, aka Rose. But it's still fighting the urge to tell her about the stalking because he's scared of how she'll react. She asks why he chose her and if it was just due to convenience. And he's like, no, and I will prove it to you that I am really into you, because he noticed her stationery collection previously. So he has, like, a collection of a lot of, like, intricate, beautiful jewelry type things, right? Because his kraken likes to collect things. Kind of like a crow. So he knew, he was like, I should get her a gift, like a wooing gift. And he knew exactly out of his collection what to give her, which is these 2 intricate gold and gem-stoned pens. He got centuries earlier from his visit to gift her, and admits after she assumes they are for payment of sex that it's because he's trying to woo her. And they like have little octopuses on them, and she because she has like a lot of stationery and she likes to mash them, and the process of like writing with pen and paper helps ground her when she's matchmaking, so that's why like she really likes it and whatnot. So she decides to match it with this ocean scenery just type note paper and whatnot. When she uses the pens, it's really cute. Yeah. All this stuff. Basically, it's him noticing what she likes and getting her the something of the same vein to be like, I like you, and all this stuff. So she agrees that like he can woo her, and yeah, they're low key in a relationship. And then Gideon breaks into the antique store next door, that's being used as the front for the auction. That his client's stolen item is, and finds papers that the auction is being moved up, and the person who's running it is named Jackson.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I wrote
Fucking
in
hell.
parentheses. At this point, it wasn't confirmed that it was the same Jackson, but I was like, yeah, what are the chances?
Fucking Jackson.
So I wrote in parentheses, let Gideon destroy him. I'm going to tell you now, Gideon's not the one who destroys him.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So, the wardmaster that they have, who does all the wards, they only know him as the wardmaster, has fixed the siphoning and set up protection from it happening again, but says that someone set it up on purpose. So yeah, Rose admits the wardmaster and Lau would be a great match. She purposely says it to Lau when the matchmaker is in hearing, but in a different room. And so then Lau could be like, I'm pretty sure he doesn't like me. I'm pretty sure he hates me. And then the matchmaker comes in, takes Lau's tea that he's in the middle of drinking, sips it, gives it back to him, and says, I'll see you later, and then leaves.
Oh. Okay. Go off, I guess.
So Rose is just on the clouds, happy, having a good time. She's in a new relationship, trying things out. She's having good sex on the regular. She has made plans with Gideon for a later date.
Can't relate.
Alright. When Jackson walks in, not Jackson. So he wants.
Jackson's the new Connor.
I know. He wants.
And Connor was the new Callum.
He wants to give a client a tour of the bathhouse, and she says it's a bad idea since their business is run on mutual respect. Let me just say, she totally clapped off, and I was like, hell yeah, tell him off, girl. He tries to ask her on a date, which is a big deal because when they were together, he wouldn't go out with her in public in fear of being seen with her.
The fuck?
And it's like made to be like he's doing her a favor by going out with her in public, and she's like, hello? Yeah. She realizes
so serious.
Yeah. She realizes his soul threads are completely different from when she last saw him, which shouldn't have happened so fast, meaning the information used for the match that caused the depression spiral she was in was false. And then, so like, the whole entire like purpose of the perfect match was that their soul threads matched, but like it was false information because that's not actually how soul threads work. So like the whole entire reason why she was in love because she didn't think that she was actually a good matchmaker and all this stuff was completely false. And all this stuff. And then I wrote down I highly think he was the one siphoning power from the shop and used Rose to get into the bathhouse. It was it's way too convenient. He shows up wanting to look around after calling it a whorehouse during their relationship and right after they fixed the siphoning. The relationship with Rose was not planned, but basically yes. He was siphoning the power from them to do some nefarious things. We will talk about it. I didn't tell you the content warnings for this book. I should. Because, yeah, things happen.
Does it have to do with the fact that men are icky?
Yes.
I'm not surprised.
Okay, ready? We got sexual content stalking, infertility, and trafficking.
That's a big jump. That is a big jump.
Can you guess which one Jackson is using the magic for?
Yeah, I think I can, Busty.
Yeah. Yeah. So Jared shows up and forces Jackson
We
out
should know. At one point, when we have some more episodes done, we should rank all the terrible main characters we've come across.
Yes.
I feel like he's pretty high in the list.
Yeah. Just you wait. Jared shows up and forces Jackson out by ruining his life. He's like, I can ruin you. I will make up a bunch of shit. Some of it will probably be true because you're a horrible fucking person. And tell everyone about it. And so then you'll be run out of the city, and your poor little daddy can't protect you. Blah 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 blah. So Jackson's forced to leave, but he's angry about it. Blah blah blah. Jared showed up because Lau had texted him. But contemplates out loud what Gideon would have done to Jackson if he was there. Which, yes, I stand Lau. Lau and Rose think the person Jared is seeing is Catherine. It's not confirmed or denied. It's a possibility. I don't even remember one of the other books in the series. I know the next one is like, Reverse Harem Gargoyle one.
Gargoyle!
Yes.
I would read that one. Don't ask me why. I love how I'm like, Gargoyle! I would read that one. Like, that was my first thought.
There's a werewolf and a lake monster novellas.
Oh, I might have to read the lake monster one, because I feel like I relate deeply to a lake monster.
Oh my god, there's a thruple, the last one currently is a thruple basilisks.
I don't know why I gasped like that. I think it's because, like, there's a song by guess who I'm gonna say this time.
Bad Omens.
No, Sleep Token. Not what the fuck? Am I okay?
No.
Maybe I want to listen to Sleep Token. The song is not by Sleep Token. There's a song by Spirit Box called Electric Cross, which I'm obsessed with. And one of the main lyrics is "Skin me like a basilisk." That's not the full lyric. It's just, it doesn't matter. But like, don't you love how I connect everything back?
Yes.
To anything ever.
Yes.
Hey, do you know I like heavy metal music?
Yes.
Hey, did you know I like guitars? Did you know I like people who go roar?
So, the paperwork that Gideon found about the auction proves that they are actually trafficking people. Yeah. He took pictures of the paperwork, and, like, some of the numbers, like, look suspicious, like, the codes for, like, what things are, look suspicious, so we sent it to Mason. Mason's like, yeah, that's people trafficking. Yeah. I should mention, like, Loki, there's, like, a whole political thing where there's, like, a council of, like, magical people who are, like, the police force and government for magical beings and whatnot, that are supposed to stop this stuff, but, like, it's, like, slightly better than it was in the ye olden times when, like, people would straight up be killed, because of the type of monster they are, and whatnot, but, like, they still don't do anything. And we learn later on that straight up Gideon has been working on the side for thousands of years, literally ending trafficking.
Of course.
Every time he would run into it, he'd just be like ending it, and then it's gotten to the point where it so rarely happens that it's been such a long time that he's seen it. Because, like, it used to be, like, more open and whatnot, but they had to go underground, and so it's very hard to do now.
Where's our Gideon IRL?
I know, right? Like,
We need an IRL kraken to stop trafficking,
and a demon.
Oh my god.
The demon also helps them out. That's like, it's the demon, him, and then a werewolf that's their other friend, are the three people that do this.
Honestly, I feel like demons get a bad rep, because, like, yeah, some of them like to fuck shit up, but I feel like some of them would be like, what the fuck are you doing, you know?
I didn't write it down, but we learned some lore of how demons, got to the point of being able to live on this plane, which is basically, they have the ability to manipulate soul threads, and so in order to stay on this plane, they would, they would make deals with humans, and then the humans, part of their deal would be to connect their soul threads with the demon, and so then the demon could live on this plane. And that's how demon deals happen. Yeah. So, yeah, I also wrote down may have something to do with the missing people that's been offhandedly mentioned once, 100%. Rose had texted him that she misses him, hinting she's into him for more than sex, too. They are planning to meet up that night while Mace watches the antique store. And then Gideon sees someone suspicious going to the alley between the bathhouse and the antique store. So he takes a picture of them to send to Mace so he can get information on this person. But he gets angry that they're so close to where Rose is, so goes after them and learns it's Jackson. He doesn't know it's the same Jackson. He doesn't know the name of Jackson. She just said her ex every time she talked about Jackson, so he doesn't know who Jackson is. So it's basically giving the readers confirmation the same Jackson's running the auction / people trafficking is Rose's ex.
Boo.
So I already talked about how Jackson's family is super powerful and rich and all this stuff. Gideon uses his power to coerce Jackson to stay away from that bathhouse no matter what, because he can do that. And he sends the photos to Mace and emails Rose's work email about the shifty guy, aka Jackson, and a brief explanation about what's going on next door to let her know. The issue is that because she's so backed up with all the matchmaking, because she has been matchmaking for a while, she gets hundreds of emails a day from people looking for matchmakers.
Jeez.
And so there's a
I didn't know this was such a booming thing.
So there's a backlog of emails. So hear me out. She does not see it for a while. They plan to go out for Thai food, but Rose is horny, and and literally she's getting ready to go to get Thai, and he's like, "Listen, I can smell it on you," and she's like, "Wait, really?" And then she's like, "I shouldn't have guessed," and he's like, "No, you're so horny, I can taste it in the air." Yeah. So they decide to stay.
You know, I kind of like that that's always a thing with monster-esque books like this, because obviously they'd be able to smell it. So I'm glad it's a thing. Does that make sense?
Yes. So he's
I guess they make it somewhat realistic, right?
Yeah, I guess. So he's low-key worried about her hunger if they are having sex for 12 hours straight or something. He does order her pizza halfway through it.
Hell yeah.
But
sometimes you just have to stop in the middle, eat some pizza, keep going. I don't know.
Yeah, they take lulls, and there's actual baths in the rooms and whatnot. So he bathes her, and they cuddle in the bath, and he orders her pizza, and yeah. And they decide to stay in and all that stuff. I should also mention that she straight up said when the first sex scene, so she's super nervous, so he's okay, let's just go in the bath together, because that's relaxing, right? Makes sense. It's cool. And
I recently read a book where they went in the bath together. The first there was the shower, and then there was the bath. It was I don't know.
And so he starts kissing her. And
the book is on your TBR. You should read it. I liked it.
Okay. So he starts kissing her and whatnot, and she's like, "Listen, I draw the line. We are not having sex in the bath." And he's like, "Cool, fine. Ignore my boner then." She's like, "Bitch, how the hell am I supposed to ignore this?" She's sitting in his lap, straddling him, and she's like, "Hello, how am I supposed to ignore this?" And so when it starts getting hot and heavy, he picks her up, and she's like, "What the hell are you doing?" And he's like, "Listen, you said that you don't want to do it in the bath, so we're not doing the bath." And so he dries her off and then lays her in the bed and makes sure that she has a pillow, and then goes to the town.
Oh god.
I didn't write details, but I remembered them. It's been a week. Yeah. So he almost lets it slip by calling her mate, but she ignores when he almost said it and quickly changes his words. Later on, he also says it during sex. He straight up says "my mate," but she doesn't realize.
That's the same vibe of Malone saying love to with Aurora.
Yep. Okay, and I quote my next note. "Oh yay, breeding kink with the removal of the pregnancy necklace." You can imagine what happens.
It makes sense. He's a monster.
He says she'll give her anything she begs for, and she briefly contemplates begging to keep him, but she doesn't want to ruin the sexy times. Also, we learn, so, they do it. He releases, but he wants to go again, and she's like, "Wait a second, how are you still hard?" Apparently, he's able to magically keep a boner.
It is a fantasy book. He is a monster, so...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So then he gets her pizza and rubs out all of her muscles in the bath.
Can someone
Honestly,
do
my
that to me? Because my shoulders are so tense right now, it literally fucking hurts. Like, literally my brow straps are hurting, my shoulders are straight. That's how bad it is right now,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I don't know why
I
it's
had
so
that,
bad
yeah.
again.
Yeah,
Because I've been this tense my entire life. Like, I was 10 years old, and someone would barely touch my shoulders, and like, oh my god, stop! That hurts! Like, that's not okay. That is not okay.
Yeah.
I had a rough life. It's okay. I'm good. I didn't kill myself yet. It's okay.
Gideon starts to bring up the idea of removing his immortality or making her immortal so they could be together. But she starts to freak. So they cuddle all night as she sleeps. So as she's falling asleep, he's all like talking about the email he said, and she's like confused, but she's like half asleep and falls asleep, so like she doesn't say anything. So she hasn't read the email yet. And he asks her to stay away so he'll. Oh yeah, this is what they're talking about. She's like falling asleep. He asks her to stay away so he'll know that she's safe, which she agrees to. She's like, I'll stay home tomorrow. The next day, she opens the email and realizes Jackson, because there's a photo of the person that he put in the email, and it's Jackson. And she realizes he was the one siphoning the power. He was high on their power, and that's why their soul strands looked compatible, because it looked exactly like her family magic. It also explains why when she last saw him, he looked like he was strung out. Like, when it explained him, he was, like, hollow, and, like, he had circles under his eyes, and he looked super pale, and, like, the stereotypical...
He looks like me?
Yes. No, but when you, like, imagine the stereotypical, person, addict who's,
Yes.
who is going through withdrawal, that's, like...
I've seen that site many a times.
So, yeah, that's how he was described. So it's not, yeah. So apparently the Love family used to be fighters, that were...
I feel like I should reiterate the fact that I don't do drugs. I don't go outside and I never sleep, so.
We learned that apparently her family used to be fighters that were so good at it, it was catastrophic when they fought in wars. So they became lovers instead. Which is why there's, like, this whole family motto of, like, lovers, not fighters. And then I wrote, let's just say Rose's rage-fueled brain is feeling the urge. Apparently their specific ability is, specialized using the soul threads for serving judgment. You do not know what that means until, like, 2 chapters down the line. Let me tell you, she does shit to this bitch and I'm happy. Gideon and Mace have freed the woman that were captured by Jackson and his cousin. Mace plans to take the cousin to the council since he knows nothing will, Gideon... Oh, yeah, so the cousin knows nothing. He seems to just be, like, the person brought along. So he's gonna take him to the council so they can question him. While Gideon stays behind and uses some totally legal tactics to question Jackson and whatnot, so they can get the info on who all the buyers and people who were working for them getting the girls are, and whatnot, so they can shut it all down, while they wait for the council to actually show up. Also, we do learn that one of the girls looks like she's at max 18, so that's fun. And when one of the girls also says that she's scared because they threatened her 4-year-old sister. I think it's the same girl says that if she didn't go with them, then they would have taken her 4-year-old sister instead. So, you know, all around great people. We love it.
Fuck?
Yeah.
I'm not in the closet anymore.
I can tell. So Rose comes in hot-headed, and Gideon is surprised by the level of power she's wielding. He's like, holy shit, she's powerful. Jackson does not realize this at the moment, and starts slut-shaming her immediately. Immediately.
Be so fucking serious right now.
So apparently at one point, Jackson pranked a friend into putting some wards on his wrist so that no shackles or anything can lock on him without his permission. So the shackles they put on him didn't work. He broke free instantly and attacks one of the girls, the one who's still a teenager. So Rose,
why is this girl getting all this shit? Like, hello?
I know, right? One of the girls does come up behind him and like whacks him over the head with a cabinet that had a bunch of shit in it. It comes into play later. And so Rose comes up to him and she's like very angry because like he used her family business that's about consent and whatnot to literally kidnap girls to sell them. Hello? And all this stuff, and used her, and all this, so she gets really angry. So she grabs onto him, and soul binds him, which basically, is erasing everything that they are. Like, their memories are still there, but they have, like, no soul, and so no personality, no anything. They're just a puppet, basically.
God damn.
Yeah, that's her family's ability, and that's what she does to him. An icon, can I just say? Like, you know. But yeah, so they can still question him for information. The issue is that technically it's illegal because, like, it's super powerful ability. And, yeah, so the council would straight up arrest her. And she would be the one to get in trouble. Yay! Mace comes back and warns the council will come after her and tells Gideon to hide, his mate. Right, but at this point, Gideon hasn't officially told her that she is his mate. So in order to, like, keep up the ruse, he yells, that she's not his mate, which upsets her because, he basically just said, that he doesn't love her, even though it was a lie, and so she runs away, and she runs to the bathhouse, and starts to join a public orgy to fight the feelings. But he comes in after her. Yeah, Gideon and Jared kick everyone else out of the, party. Her and Mr. Kraken Man, are in one of the baths, talking, and he's like, I do love you, I swear. Like, he doesn't say, I love you yet. But he's like, it was a lie, and all this stuff. I'm scared of scaring you away, but I did anyways. You are my bait. I swear, trust me in just this alone. Let me explain everything, but you're about to hit an energy drink because she just used so much fucking magic, and whatnot. And she's like, okay, fine. So she falls asleep in the bath. You know, good times. In his arms, he drives her off and carries her home, cause, like, he knows where she lives. This is the first time he's been in her house, and, we learned that she likes to read.
She's literally you.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. Like.
So, he makes her tea, and whatnot. Mace calls and says
I'm making a snack.
Okay.
You want some?
No. So Mace calls and says he stuck one of the woman a burner phone with his number in it in case, the council, it doesn't do anything properly so that they can help them out and whatnot. Also, like, when Mace came back after dropping off the cousin to the council, he brought, like, a bunch of clothes and blankets and food so the girls can, like, eat and drink and whatnot. 'Cause who knows how long it's been and changed, because half of them are, like, wearing pajamas. Like, they've been kidnapped in the middle of the night. Good times. So, good times. And also, he told the council that Jackson was soulbound by an exploding artifact from when the one girl took the cabinet and whacked it over his head. He says that there was an artifact in there that exploded. So it's, like, not an issue anymore, but it did soulbind him. And that's how that happened. So it's not an issue. So, she has him cuddle her as his basest desire scream to hold her. Like, he's like, his crack is like, hold her and all this stuff, because he's, like, watching her sleep. And then she wakes up and she's like, hold me, I just want to be held by you. And so he comes to bed and they cuddle, and she falls asleep. He also falls asleep. This is the first time that he slept in bed with her. So Rose wakes up and distracts herself from warring emotions by, starting to have sex with Gideon. But she left her pregnancy prevention charm at the bathhouse, which worries her, making Gideon realize she's not sure about him still, slash anymore. So he stops it, so they can talk and eat instead. He's like, no, I'm not gonna have sex with you if you don't trust me. Thank you very much. I love him. I'm good. I don't want the tentacle porn, but like otherwise, I love him. So he admits everything to her, but she says they can't be mates because he doesn't have soul threads. And then he laughs and says that he just automatically camouflages himself all the time, and that's one of the things he camouflages.
I think it's kind of funny you have to make a disclaimer that you don't like tentacle porn. I feel like you should edit in the beginning. You talk about put the trigger warnings in the beginning. Just like also.
If he knew that she could see soul threads, he would have taken down the spell. And she does briefly contemplate asking to see them now. But knowing it's possible for them to be mates, by knowing that he has soul threads, she's just gonna accept that what he says is true, and that they are mates. And she realizes she doesn't need to, see them, cause she chooses him anyways without seeing them. They spend most of the day just talking about stuff like history, past stuff, and having a good time. Things normal couples do. They create the mate bond. The mate bond happens during intercourse. This is not how it's done anymore, by the way. Fun fact, Mace tells us this. They create the mate bond, and the mate mark that he leaves on her is from biting her while they had sex, which is a big deal, because he's literally marking her, which is not how it's done anymore. She watches their soul threads combine, and then after the fact, they can feel each other's emotions through the bond. That's, not, some people can do that, but, that's very rare, for soul bonds and whatnot, so, that means, they're meant to be.
What if I do something so drastic?
The energy usage from the bonding starts to put her to sleep again, so she tells him she loves him for the first time, and feels his surprise through the bond as she falls asleep. She wakes up the next morning and goes to make coffee to find Mace in her house. Yeah, so Gideon's asleep beside her. She wakes up, goes downstairs to make coffee because he's asleep. Maybe this is the first time he sleeps with her. I don't know. And then there's Mace, and she just screams because she doesn't know who Mace is really. She, saw him briefly at the, antique store, right? But, that's it. And then Gideon comes running down, completely nude, comes running down, and he's like, oh my god! And then he's like, Mace, bitch, what the fuck? And then he's like, sweetie, you want coffee? And she's like, yes, please. So he goes into the kitchen to get her coffee, and he's like, Mace, you can't just, break into my girlfriend's house. And he goes to do this, and he's completely in the nude. Dogs fall out, and his best friend's just sitting there, just oh my god, and she's just standing there dude, hun, put on pants, and so then he magically puts on pants. And he's like, I don't get the big deal. He doesn't like me like that, and you've already seen me naked, so, what's the big deal? And then,
I hope you know my snack was good.
Okay. She didn't know Gideon gave up. Oh, yeah, so, Mace is like, I can't believe you gave up your immortality. He also complains about the mate mark. She's like, listen, I liked it, it's fine, it's whatever. And then he's like, I can't believe you gave up your immortality. What are you gonna do now? And she's like, I'm sorry, what? And he's like, dude, get the fuck out. I gotta have a conversation with my woman now. And so he's like, yeah, so this is, a thing, because, you can't, mate with an immortal without something changing. So, it's very rare a mortal becomes immortal when that happens. So basically what will happen is, instead, we will have the same lifespan. So if one of them dies, the other one also dies is how it works. Right? Very Sarah J. Maas. So, basically, if she dies, he dies, so he's not immortal anymore. But, because of his immortality level, it, balanced out. So instead of, living, maybe 100 years, like most witches, it will be closer to, the demon timeline of how old they live, which is more, in the 900 to 1,000, couple thousand years. It won't be forever, but they'll be together for, 1,000 years. So that's sweet, I guess, I don't know.
Damn, I want someone to love me enough to be with me for 1,000 years. I'm okay. I'm normal.
Okay. Epilogue, she has finally finished the backlog of couplings that she had to do for the matchmaking, and there was also some thruples in there. Also one of her kinks was, like, public sex. So, like, in the public, she would, join the orgies in the public, bathroom in the bathhouse type thing. Occasionally before Jackson. So he surprises her with, like, a whole scene in there with her blindfolded. And he's a kraken at the time. And she's, oh yeah, so her surprise to him is that when he starts to undress her for this whole scene, he realizes she's not wearing the necklace, because she chooses not to wear it with him, because kids, I don't know. That's the book. The end. I rated it 4 stars. We don't need to talk about it. It was actually good. They were, like, actually cute together. The mentor was good. I didn't talk much about it, but it was, like, actually funny at points. I was having a good time. I was, like, low-key squealing at points. It was good. You know? The only thing I can really complain about is the tentacle board, because, like, that was weird, fam. I didn't like that.
Okay, I want to go to the bathroom, then I'll come back and give you my thoughts, okay?
Okay. Country roads, David.
Also, I thought I lost it. I couldn't find the cat, but she's in my bed because I have one comforter in the closet, one somewhere else, and I put the comforter on my bed because it was in the closet. She's on the comforter. Sorry, not that apparition starting to play. You can't come in here, Kiki. Watch out, Kiki. Hello?
Hi.
I'm back in the closet. It's so sad. This wasn't terrible to listen to here. Like, it wasn't terrible to hear about. I like the fact there was actually plot to it, you know?
Is it better than Ice Planet Barbarians?
Yes.
Hell yeah. Honestly, the fact that I saw Ice Planet Barbarians in the wild, I low-key almost screamed. And every time I went, no! And Bessie was just there next to me, like, I don't understand. I'm like, it was bad. Which is funny, because the only episode she listened to, I think, was the first Ice Planet Barbarians, because that was the one that had the Sims quiz in the beginning. So she listened to that portion of that episode, and then she was like, I don't want to listen to Smut, but I want to hear about the Sims quiz. Because she also likes the Sims.
Yes. Don't you just list off the episodes that aren't Smut for her to listen to? Because that's what I have to do for Jerica.
No, but I have contemplated, making 2 more playlists on the YouTube channel, because apparently, 3 isn't enough. Where one of them is, because I have one of all the Katie Robert episodes, that's just the thing that I have now. So, like, if someone wants to listen to them all, they can just listen to them in order that way. But also, I was like, should I do one that's, like, all the Smut, and then one that's all not Smut?
Yes, but also you should do one of the ones where I lead the episode.
Episode 2?
No. It's 3, isn't it?
Right, yeah.
It's 3.
Be devoured, yeah. I forgot about 2 be devoured.
Don't discredit me like that, Bestie.
Listen. Okay. Maybe. I'll see about it.
Wow. Anyways, listen, this is only gonna make sense to a certain subset of people, and I don't know if they listen to our podcast. As someone whose favorite Sleep Token song is Vor, the ending, not the epilogue, part of the ending, yes. That's it. That's all the thoughts.
Okay. Yeah, I actually
I feel like that says too much about me as a person.
I kind of liked it. Being as my biggest complaint was the tentacle smut, and the fact that all the other books in the series do not follow krakens. I think I'll like those ones as well. Like, the writing was not bad. Like, I actually liked the writing and the characters in general, and the romance
actually fleshed out and makes sense.
Yes, like, she actually built a whole entire universe, and I think these are, I don't remember, are they indie or self? Let me check. I have it written down. They are self-published. Yeah. So, as a book that's self-published, in 2021, they're got, and whatnot. You know,
it looks like it is, so, you know.
I know. The cover definitely looks self-published, but the actual inside the book, actually really good, and like, hear me out. Like, can it please get the Ice Planet Barbarians treatment where like Book Talk is like, oh my god, and then it gets actually published traditionally, and you can then find it in Barnes and Noble, and it gets like new covers and whatnot.
That'd be fun. More authors deserve that in their lives.
Yes.
You would be one of them. I could say that about you, but the book isn't finished. I can't read it with my eyeballs yet.
Listen, I opened the document while I was at Bestie's. I did not write anything in it, but I did edit what I have already written.
Listen, the faster you finish this book, the faster you can do everything else, and the faster I could obviously me, who the fuck else would do it, can record the audiobook for it.
Oh my goodness.
You wouldn't have to pay me. Maybe send me a book. Maybe send me a free copy of the book, and then another one. That would be my payment.
Like, I went through that already.
No, because I know for a fact, because if you did, you would send me every single edition of whatever the book, and if you didn't, I would come out the walls.
No, what I would do is I would print up 100 copies, and like then it automatically assume no one would buy it, so then just ship all 100 copies to you.
And I would promote them myself. I would read every single edition, every single copy.
Dude, literally the way that I was at Bestie's, and Bestie was like a marketing major, so like she knows marketing stuff, and she was like, okay, so this is how you market your Instagram. She's like, I want you to actually do shit with your podcast, okay? Let's go. You gotta market it better, and all this stuff. And then she's like, she was looking at my personal Instagram, and she was like, you know what? Maybe you should add some other things, like actually like book quotes and whatnot. So like, if you saw my most recent Instagram post, I actually put a book quote in there. Because she told me to add book quotes to make it different.
You should start doing reels. That's the whole thing for Instagram, you know?
I am contemplating doing reels of like, you know, the trend of like what I read or the amount of phone time I spent last week on this day is how much I'm going to read this day, and that type of thing.
I could not do that because mine's like usually around 12 hours.
I was going to start that this week, but I may wait until next month to start it because I may have one of the days that I was at Bestie's accidentally left my phone on all night long. So it's
did that last night.
5 hours one day. It's like 8 hours one day because like 5 hours of just me.
I know. Every once in a while I would just see you being active during the night. I'm like, there's no way that bitch is up right now.
No, it was not. It was my phone accidentally being on. I don't even know how I did it. Here, let me check. How did I do it? Because I like turned it off and I put it next to me, and then like I went to check the time and my phone was burning hot and it was completely powered off, and I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. Like today so far is an hour and 17 minutes. And most of that was
I already know mine's longer than that. Of course it is. It's me.
Listen, after picking up, the first thing I pick up 98% of the time is Instagram. I wonder why. Also, of my 62 notifications, more than half of those are Instagram. I wonder why.
You love me, right?
Yes. You know what happened? It's when I went to put my phone next to me, I accidentally swiped it, so it swiped to my camera app. So it was open on my camera for like 5 hours.
How does that happen? Because if the camera's not active on mine for a certain, if it's like not active after a certain amount of time, it closes the camera app and then it'll go to the normal screen, like just on the where the apps are, and then it'll go off after a minute.
Mine doesn't do that. Yeah.
Because I don't know what I'm saying.
I don't know either.
Because I have a Samsung. I don't know what you have.
I have an iPhone. Yeah. Just because,
that's why it sucks. That's why it doesn't exit out the camera when it's not being used and stays on all night.
Mine's a iPhone just to be on my mom's phone plan, 100%. Alright, do you have anything else to say for the wonderful people?
No. No.
Okay, cool. So I can go watch.
No. There's nothing.
So I can go watch more K-dramas?
Wow.
I have an addiction. I have an addiction.
I have a very serious question.
Okay.
Everyone's away. When sprint. Win.
I'm thinking maybe around January 26th. Does that work for you?
No, it does not. I'm in your walls. I am in your walls.